What's good, everyone? This is Dev the Coolest.
And this is JB.
And welcome to SlickTalk. Hey, with a hashtag.
SlickTalk.
Hey,
you gotta get the hashtag in there first.
Hashtag SlickTalk. We may need to change our welcome because, you know, we got to
listen, we need to keep the upbeat momentum throughout the whole show because we'd be like, it's lit. It's lit in the beginning.
Lit.
And then we'd be like,
lit at the end. But it'd be lit in the middle, too.
It do. You right.
Anyway, welcome back, y'all, to another episode of SlickTalk.
Yes, sir.
We're not shooting the shit, but there's some things that we kind of want to talk about that we've just been pretty passionate about as of late, especially since we've been quarantined.
Absolutely.
We've been watching a lot of cinema.
Yeah.
In particular,
movies,
black cinema, black shows.
Yeah.
And we kind of just want to talk about it and unpack and make some recommendations and stuff like that. So what are you watching right now?
So right now, I mean, as far as like black shows or like black cinema, I actually just finished watching again for like the 20th time Love Jones.
Okay.
And I see myself
that'll never get old.
That'll never get old.
There's some black cinema, it just would never get old.
Right.
Like I can watch The Wiz over and over. But anyway, Love Jones. Go ahead.
Listen, the scene in Love Jones where she was just like, so I remember they was in a taxi and she was just like, you guys did it? Remember they did it? Her and Lorenz Tate did it the night before. It was a little scene where they had did it the night before. They're in the taxi. Y'all that remember the movie. Remember the scene.
I haven't seen it in a year, so
okay.
That's why I like.
There's an iconic scene. And then there's an iconic scene when they're in the taxi and the two girls are just kikiing, the two friends are just kikiing. And she was like, so how was the dick? How was the dick? And she was just like, it's like it spoke to me. And then her friend was like, girl, what did it say? And she said, it's like it said, Nina.
Not the
It
Wiz.
was so crap. It was hilarious.
I don't know why I don't remember that. I haven't seen that movie in so long now. So
no, I love that movie. But yeah, that and Madam C.J. Walker, which you mentioned
Self-Made.
before.
Self-Made. Yeah, it's on
that
Netflix.
Show on Netflix.
So let's unpack that. So I don't want to give it away to anyone that hasn't seen it. I really recommend people seeing it. It's really good.
It is
overall.
Which to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting it. Because I'm more so like a serious, dark type of person. Like that is like drama. I don't know what kind of category that falls in.
I wouldn't say like a biography, whatever. Biopic. Thank you. I wouldn't say it was that. Like I've always had an issue with Hollywood kind of like glamorizing the black struggle, period.
Yeah.
Right. And then I've heard that some things were put into it to make it very Hollywood eyes.
Absolutely.
Like,
hence the music.
Right.
I thought the music was a huge contrast
the
to
music
what was
kind of
going
threw
on.
me off.
Yeah, I was like, that's interesting how they have like this taking place back in the day, but then the music is like kind of modern.
Very present. They were playing, I love Alex Isley, but they were playing like Alex Isley. They were playing some rap. And it's like, it's cute. Like, it's a black movie. I love it. Like, play what you need to. But it kind of threw me off. Also, Tiffany Haddish threw me off a little bit. But not because, like, I want her to expand. You know, I don't want her to be in this box of just a comedian.
Sure.
But watching
if
that's what it is, that's what it is. But for her, it was like watching Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
And it kind of, anytime she was on, it would like throw me.
It's going to always be like that.
It would throw me off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. She did decent. I couldn't take her crying seriously. Like it was.
Yeah.
But I do recommend Self-Made. It's really good. Octavia Spencer was amazing. Blair Underwood was amazing.
Yeah.
Love their acting choices. Anyway, what else are you watching? What am I watching?
Yeah, what are you watching over there?
That's black.
That's black.
Because I'm
or that has like black characters that are just anything, I guess.
I just got into Black Lightning. That's not really black, but it's
I think my mom loves that show.
Yeah, it's like it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
What else am I watching right now? I'm watching Lock and Key, but that's not black. But Lock and Key is really good.
Okay, come on, Lock and Key. Little Fires Everywhere.
I have not gotten into that yet.
Little Fires Everywhere is so dope, and I only really started watching it is because Kerry Washington is in it, and she's an executive producer on the show. I think we mentioned this on the live as well.
Okay,
but she's an EP on the show.
Yeah, we did.
and the show is just amazing.
Yeah,
like it tackles. Well, all
I had the book, so I need to finish the book. But I had the book and I didn't finish it.
Yeah,
because I couldn't get into it. Like it was a slow start.
It is. It's slow on the. It's slow on the show too, which is crazy that you say that because I found myself in the first episode like picking up my phone, like, okay, where is this going?
You know,
but it picks up.
Okay,
it definitely picks up.
I mean, I hope the book picks up if I decide to get back into it, because I'm reading. I've gotten back into. I'm reading Dakota's Winter Ever. This is not Black cinema, but it's Black books.
Yeah,
absolutely. 40 Acres.
Okay,
that's a really good book. I recommend that. That's a black author.
Black Privilege. By
it's about black. Oh well, but 40 Acres is about Black privilege too, because it talks about.
That's what it made me remind me of the actual book, Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God, which is actually one of my favorite books as well. Shout out to Charlemagne the God.
Shout out to Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne.
Charlemagne.
When Webby was trying to.
Oh, that's what you
remember that? No, when Webby couldn't get their names right.
Oh yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to put that sound bit in so people can know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm also I'm watching old Black films. So The Wiz. What's the Halle Berry when she's playing Dorothy Dandridge.
Is it called Dorothy Dandridge?
I can't think of the name of it right now.
I thought that's what it was called.
But that iconic scene where she kicked her foot into the pool and they all got out, and then they had the black people cleaning the pool.
Yeah. Being Dorothy Dandridge or something.
Yeah, I'm watching that, or I did watch that recently. I watched Tina Turner. I watched Waiting to Exhale.
Oh.
That would never get
old. That actually movie right there, Waiting to Exhale, is probably one of my all-time favorite.
Listen, I had no business watching it when it came out, but I did, and it probably shaped my life. Like we see the movie differently than we did when we were young. Now we're adults. We've been through some of the things that they've been through. Right,
we can relate to them. We're like, like when she said, "Get your shit, and get out." Or she said, she said, she was just like, and it's a white woman. Would it be better if she were black? No, it would be better if you were black. But that scene is iconic. So it's funny. Even Low Down Dirty Shame.
Wait, before we go to that. So do you know that scene with Loretta Devine when she was walking away and she bought him something?
Oh, yeah.
He was moving.
Is he looking?
Is he looking? She turns around.
He's looking. No,
why are we playing? No, when I was like 7 or 8 years old and I did that scene. I made this boy. I was like, stand right here. Right. I was like, stand right here and just look at me walk away.
I'm so upset. And I can imagine your ass doing that too. You probably still do it to this day.
No.
Just gay. I'm not about to play with you. Anyways, I'm thinking about the scene in Low Down Dirty Shame when they were with the woman, I forget her name, but she was tied up.
Ooh, catch that.
She was tied up. She was tied up or whatever in the chair. Remember? And then the police officer was putting a gun to her head. Remember the girl that was sitting in the chair? I forget. He was putting the gun in her to her head or whatever. He untied her or something because she wanted to do that. She ends up shooting him and said, "Stupid motherfucker, you could have had some pussy." Listen, these movies are iconic.
Oh
if
my
you haven't seen these movies right now, it's a perfect
I hope y'all
time.
are making a list. The one that was Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yes.
Stupid. We say that randomly. Stupid motherfucker.
But there's also some great. I know, right? And I posted that one to just that clip alone. There's also some they're like posting I'm not posting, but they're like showing different like shows now. I think they have like
Living Single is on
there.
Different World. A lot of like I hate that I can't find Martin anywhere.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
I love Martin. I can't find Martin anywhere. And it also sucks that now we were talking before the episode, like with Black cinema, we're diving a lot more into horror, the horror genre. So we had like Us, we had Get Out. Antebellum was supposed to come out, but that's being
which I've seen before.
You saw Antebellum?
I swear to God, I've seen that movie.
Like an original or
the actual one with Janelle Monáe? Yeah, I went to a screening, a private screening in LA.
I really want to see that, but now
it's dope.
See,
and the crazy thing about it, I seen a preview. They showed like a little preview of the movie on Instagram, and there was hella comments like, I was like, oh, I seen this this movie. I can't wait for everybody to see it. And everybody keeps on asking me, so what happened?
Right. Why
but
you
the crazy thing
it?
about when I seen the movie is they make you sign a non-disclosure.
Right.
Basically saying you don't talk about the movie, you don't go on Twitter and do anything
let's
like
change
that.
the subject.
And also the type of person that I am, I don't want to give away the movie anyways because people are going to freak out. She does such what I can say is that she does such an amazing job in that movie, Antebellum. Like she leveled up on her acting.
Yeah, she was really good in Moonlight, like Janelle Monáe, which is another good black
absolutely
film that I want to rewatch.
Also, Candyman,
and then Candyman with all them bees.
Are you excited to see that movie?
Yeah, I love horror.
Speaking of which, they showed the the old one. Excuse me, the original one,
the Candyman.
The original Candyman is on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah, so I believe it's on Hulu. It's on one of the streaming sites that I had seen. But I watched the original because the original, because they had two Candymans that came after the original, I believe. So the original Candyman completely correlates to the one that's coming out soon.
Like it's a continuation. Oh, got it. Okay.
It's a continuation. So if you're gonna see the new Candyman coming out, make sure you see the original one coming out because it's a continuation from the original one, which I'm super duper excited about.
Netflix or Hulu or one of the streaming sites.
Yeah, but I want to say it's on Hulu. Yeah, I have all of them. So I just be. I mean, you have to have all of them now because at this point, Netflix running out of movies.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to watch
the other day. I said I just finished Netflix today.
Oh yeah, I seen that for real.
Because I'm like, well, what else is there to watch? I mean, there's a lot to watch, but
it's like when you get in this mode of like you only have a specific type of like genre of movie you prefer
that you're
to
into
see that day, or that you just prefer. Like we wake up on Monday, you're like, oh, I want to watch a comedy,
right?
And you wake up on Tuesday, and be like, I want to watch something that's a little scary.
And then Wednesday, I want to watch something melancholy because I'm feeling down,
right?
But I just to go back to the horror genre, like I love that as Black people we're getting into that more.
Absolutely.
Because there was such a narrative that Black people or any people of color, we can't sell. Like we can't sell well. Like we can't sell as well as the white actors or the white producers and directors. Now we got boss people of all ethnicities.
I mean, if you think about it, like just the movie, the Love movie that came out, the romantic comedy, The Photograph.
Oh, that was really good. That's another one that was with Steinfeld.
Yeah.
Is that his last name?
I don't know. Stop rubbing your leg.
Why? But no, Photograph, that was really good. That's another genre that we're getting into.
And a lot of people didn't like that movie, but see, this is the thing. I would rather we still be represented and having these Black movies come out and people like give their feedback about we don't like or whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day it's still representation and it's still showing that we can bring numbers.
We're not monolithic. Like we can do different things and still have and bring in money.
Story. When was the last time we seen like a Black love story like that wasn't
and it was generational?
Yeah, like this movie just wasn't cliche. It wasn't like stereotypical. It was different, and Issa Rae was completely beautiful. I still have to see who her stylist and her makeup artist was during this movie because they had her completely on point.
Yes.
So I personally enjoyed that movie.
What's the other movie that recently came out with the two, like the Bonnie and Clyde vibe? With the
you're talking about the one by
I Want to Be
Lena
Your
Waithe.
Legacy. Yeah. I can't. Oh God.
Slim.
Queen and Slim. Queen and Slim. That's another good one. I mean, that's a different type of love situation.
What do you think about that movie?
Because I finally saw it when it came out and I hadn't seen it at the time. I liked it. I did not expect the ending. It's a lot of nuance in it. There's a lot to unpack. The black cop helped them, but then the little black boy killed the black cop. I mean, I'm giving it away a little bit, but there's a lot of...
You need to see that movie already.
You need to see it. And then the way that it ended...
I have to see
and that
it
was
again.
like a week span. They went from a Tinder date to the following week.
Right. Everything happened so quickly. If you think about it, everything happened so quickly.
So quick.
I actually, and this is kind of like a little boast, but when I did see the movie, it was at Tina Knowles and Richard Lawson's theater in Los Angeles. It was a private screening there as well, and I was just so nervous to be around like a group of like creative people that I look up to. Like the director was there as well, so I really didn't even get to Melina is her name, but I really didn't get to pay attention to the movie because I was just really nervous. I was in the front, but I did see the movie, but it was just kind of like a lot
you
going
just had
on.
People like around
there was a lot going on.
Beyonce was there.
I mean, Beyonce wasn't there.
I know,
but her mom was was there. That was enough for me.
Right, where Beyonce came from. The womb is right there.
Exactly. The creator. But I definitely want to see it again. Okay. Out of that. But yeah, so yeah.
So this is a complete left. JB was like, why are we talking about this? But I just wanted to get it out there really quick. And since we're talking about cinema.
You have every right to say what's on your mind,
Thank
brother,
you. I do want to talk about, like, date nights. You go to restaurants and stuff when you go see a movie. I just want to tell y'all real quick, because I work in a restaurant.
Try to do the segue. You go to restaurants when you go see the movie. Okay, come on.
Did it work a little bit?
You technically do.
So I want to tell y'all some stuff, because y'all know I work at a restaurant, right? There's a few things y'all need to know. Oh. Yes, y'all are here for an
He is ready, child. He was practicing in his living room before we came.
But I want to say, like, there are, like, first of all, we treat your servers as human beings. They're human beings, period. Like, we may mess up, we may make mistakes. It's up to us to fix it and make it better. But we make mistakes. Don't hold it against the person, right? You're there for an experience. Absolutely, we're going to give you that experience. With that, when your experience is done, leave. Eat your food, get dessert, and get out. We ain't sitting. We're not getting paid after you're done and you close your check and you just kiki la line. You need to go so somebody else can sit there so we can make more money.
I think the perfect line to say to what you just said right now is, once upon a time, we used to say on the podcast, lead with love.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
but that's not what I'm going to say to this one. Obviously, always lead with love. But in this type of situation where you're dealing with people and workers and restaurants and waiters and waitresses and everything like that, I would say lead with empathy. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Like, just put yourself in someone else's shoes and imagine you waiting on tons and tons of different people and rushing and then not even sure of how much you're going to get paid by the end of the night.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, I know obviously, because you work in a restaurant, but a lot of the money stems from tips and everything.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted to thank you for bringing that up, though, because people don't understand how tips work. I see stuff all the time, and it infuriates me when people are like, anything more than the total that's for my food is a tip. Yes, granted, by definition, that is true. But you need to understand that when you tip your server isn't taking all of that money.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example for me. If you tip me 15-18%, which is ideal. You tip 10% if it was really bad overall. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, I would still tip you, but I'm gonna just give you 10% because everything was bad. But I think 15 to 18% is ideal, is what you want to shoot for. Now, of that percent, I have to tip out the bussers. Depending on the day, it's either 3% or 3.75%. So that already knocks down from that 15 or 18%.
Keep count, y'all. Keep count.
Then I have to tip out the host, which is another 0.75%. Then I have to tip out the food runner, the person that brings out the food. So I'm tipping him 1.75%.
Goodness.
And then I'm tipping out the bar.
Yeah.
And the bar is 5%.
Yeah, I knew the bar would be a lot.
So we're not taking all that money is being allocated to everyone that's a moving part. And that's at my job. My previous job had a drink runner that they would have to tip out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Deep. So there's the layers that go into
it. People just don't understand that.
So if you tipping somebody $1 on an $80 bill, at the end of the night, we still have to tip everyone out. Now we're tipping out of our own pockets.
Yeah.
Like, literally from our own pockets, not from the money we made from that day. We have to tip everyone out from what we have in our pockets.
Absolutely.
So that I just want to get that out there too, real quick.
That's probably why people act the way they do. Well, I mean, outside of just people being assholes, but I think people just don't know the intricacies of like what goes behind the scenes of like waiters and everything like that. But yeah, there's definitely ways to kind of like carry yourself when you're in those type of environments. I've never worked at a restaurant, but I've always had respect for people that have worked at a restaurant because I always practice empathy. I always try to think about what it would be like for me in the other people's shoes. That's just the type of nigga I am.
Right. No, and then that's not to say that there are going to be times where you're going to get a server that's an asshole.
No,
and then you can see that. Like, that's there. But if you know that someone's trying, and when you see someone's trying, or the food comes out wrong, that's not necessarily the fault of the server. The kitchen probably messed up, so you shouldn't take it out on the server and take it from their tip. Like,
so what did you, a real question? I don't have a lot of time. One question I do have for you is, say for example, you're working at this real high-end restaurant. Would you do work at a nice restaurant high-end, but like say for example where like the food is just like way overpriced overpriced or whatever. Like, what would you recommend? Because a lot of people like to go for their birthdays and go to these nice, expensive restaurants and then not be able to leave.
Or going on a date.
Or go on a date and then leave like this small ass tip because they just cashed out for all this food. Like, do you like...
gotta factor that in. Factor that in from jump. Factor that in from jump. If you see that the average cost for a plate is $25 and you're going to get 2 plates is $50 plus tax, damn near $60, you need to factor in that 15% of a $60 bill is going to be about, because 10% is $6. So you want to add $10 to that, basically, from that $60 bill. So if you're not ready to pay $70, go ahead and get you a salad for 10.
You hear this, people?
You know what I mean?
They ain't gonna listen, no.
And factor that in because and then people remember you. Servers remember bad tippers and people that don't tip or people that were assholes. I do. And then I avoid them at all costs.
Really?
Or then at that point I'm like, oh, I know you don't tip. So I'm gonna give you what do you want? Here you go, bye. I'm not checking in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll have the busters bring you some water. And that's just the reality of it. Because it's like, why put my time into you when you're going to give me a 5%, 0% tip?
Yeah.
And you're buying a lot. Yes, your bill is like $150, but you don't tip me anything from that. Yeah. I'm not going to give you any type of superb service. I'm going to put my time into someone else that's going to appreciate me.
Yeah. So is the stereotype right? Is the stereotype correct though that black people don't like to tip?
That is not true.
Okay.
That is not true. I do think that, and this is not just black people. A lot of people need education on tipping in general. Me being a black person and in the black community, I can see it more than other people probably can, but that's the same with any group. I think ethnic group, they'll probably notice that, oh, you don't know how to tip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, we know how to tip. Okay. I know how to tip.
I know how to tip.
Right.
I'm just trying to judge people. Stereotype is out there.
I judge people on my first date if they're the one paying for it. I judge them off of how much they tip the server, or if they tip the server at all.
Okay.
That's something that I look at. But yeah, let's wrap that up. I just wanted to get that off my chest, y'all, while I'm off of work. And I may even talk more about it later on down the line.
I'm sure we'll circle back to it.
Maybe we'll talk on it. But black cinema is thriving and popping. So go keep supporting. Support your local friends that are doing their thing in cinema or entertainment generally.
Called this thing. I forget what the website it is. I'll probably put it in the bio. But it's like not a website, but it's like a Instagram page or like a something on Twitter where they show you about all the black cinema, like old movies, new movies.
Yeah, I know there's a black Netflix movie. There's a black in cinema. There's a lot of pages. So we'll let y'all know about that. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for listening to another episode.
So much.
This is a shorter one, but
but it was a good episode.
But it was good.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it.
Now we're gonna take some Jameson. Bye, y'all. See y'all next week. Love y'all. Take care. Stay home. This episode of Slick Talk was brought to you in part by Nexus Recording Studio, where the Bay records. Are you looking to do your own podcast, your own EP, your own mixtape? Check them out. It's in Oakland, California. That's where we record, and it's amazing.